Welcome to Alpha Wolf Capital. I'm Tim, and I want to personally thank you for stopping by. This channel is designed to help small companies, both public and private, gain exposure with potential consumers, investors, even partners. Take, for example, today's guest. This is not to be taken as investment advice. I am not a certified financial planner. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. I encourage everyone to do their own due diligence. Hey everybody, Tim from Alpha Wolf Capital coming at you with a long overdue follow-up to a story that I think we've had you guys on, what, two or three times, right?
Yeah.
A lot going on over at OLB. A lot of the stuff is beyond your control, right? But something's going on because the stock has had one hell of a move in like 4 days, right?
It has.
Pretty much a double in 4 days. Lots of volume too. So somebody's sniffing around doing something somewhere over there, right? But we're not exactly sure. Do you guys know exactly why your stock has been going bananas?
We don't, and we happily surprised that finally somebody is reading the filings that are related to the actual spin-off that we are anticipating to file the amended S1 coming week.
So, you know, it's tough being a micro cap because retail investors are often unforgiving when it comes to timing issues, right? So I don't think you knew how difficult the spinoff of DMint was going to be, right, Patrick? Would that be an accurate statement?
That's an extremely accurate statement. When we first did this and we filed this in October of 2023, we really did not know the process was going to take this long. We've been through the S1 process with the holding company, and it didn't take this long. So yeah, it was a lot longer, almost double the amount of time that we anticipated. And we're not completely done yet.
So there were a series of questions that kept, so you do this, and then they'd come back with questions, and then you'd answer those questions. That is over with now, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
So now it's just a matter of filing the S1, right?
Correct. We have to file the S1. The only thing left is the numbers. We have to actually put the actual year-end 2024 numbers into the S1. That's what we're doing now, and then we'll refile it.
Okay. All right. So you know what that means, though? You're really close to the finish line on this thing, right? So it's finally, it's going to happen. I know that you guys, because I've had them say it to me, that you guys are liars and thieves and all this other crap. That's not true. That's not accurate. You guys have been bogged down by SEC stuff that is beyond your control. You've worked through it all, and now you are really close to the finish line. So I know it's been a long wait for everybody, but if you could have got it done sooner, you would have, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we have the same interest as the investors.
Right. Matter of fact, I think you guys are probably the largest investors, aren't you?
That's what I was going to say. From an investing standpoint of our side, we would love to be done with this. We're not dragging our feet. We're not enjoying hanging out and talking to the SEC. I mean, we want this to be done. So
not that you hate it, I mean,
No,
but it's not fun, really.
no, it's a process,
Not,
and it's not the funnest
not,
process.
not only that, we are putting our own money instead of getting toxic loans.
Right. Right. Okay. So all the details of the DMint spin out will be in the S1, right?
Yes.
But
Yes,
owners of OLB will be getting some shares of DMint. Is that an
correct.
accurate statement?
Yes, if you
The
want to,
shareholders, yeah, the shareholders, everybody as a shareholder of OLB at the record date would receive shares at DMint that is prorated. For example, if you have 1% in OLB, you're going to end up having also another percent additional at DMint.
Okay. Okay. And Ronnie, you think the spin out of DMint, when it does happen, you think the valuation of DMint could increase?
The valuation of DMint, it's already way higher than the valuation of OLB. OLB is totally undervalued. It's a company that is going to do this year around $15 million, and we have a market cap of less than third.
Right. Something seems amiss, right? So Patrick, we talked before we hopped on here and started recording. We talked about the bodegas, right?
right,
So you've got the new system that is going in, but there is a transition period, right?
correct, correct.
All right. So what does that mean exactly in layman's terms?
Basically, what happened is we have two different platforms. We have an old platform, and we're moving the people to a new platform. During that time, you will see a little bit of a drop in the revenue during the transition standpoint, but then you're going to get it back, and then it stabilizes and we move on. We have everybody transitioned. That's what's going on in the first. We're doing it right now. We're almost done. But that's one of the reasons that you haven't seen the growth that we have said, that because we're getting to the end of getting the transition done. So you will see a dip in the revenue this for the first quarter, but it'll come back.
Right. Right. And it's not like your stock price is priced to perfection right now, right? I
Correct.
mean, we're not even close. I mean, what's the market cap on the company right now?
After
I think
after Friday is around 4 million, I think.
yeah,
Four.
Yeah,
yes.
Four.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That doesn't make any sense at all, right?
Right.
I mean, the math doesn't work. I'm
I
sorry.
agree.
Right. All right. So, Ronnie, last week you also had your depositions, right?
Yes, and the positions are almost towards the end. The only thing that is left is another deposition, that is the damages, and after that is estimated to go by mid-August with the summary judgments in the court in New York.
So, is there anything that I mean, I don't want you to talk about the case or try and act like a lawyer or determine an
Right.
outcome here, but can you give everybody just kind of a real quick synopsis of what the case is all about?
It's a breach of contract and misrepresentation that, a month after we purchased the portfolio, we got a letter from Pfizer that is stating, you're in material breach. A material breach that had nothing to do with our purchase or our leadership when that material breach happened.
Okay. So you got essentially you got sold a kind of a bill of goods, right? I mean, it's just like you weren't fully up to speed on what was happening with that company prior to your taking it over.
Yeah, things that we didn't know about that they were existing, it was no fully disclosed to us.
Okay. Okay. So you feel as though you have a legitimate case there and that
We're feeling comfortable, about the case, but again, when you go to court, you know,
right.
it's up to
Who
the judge.
knows? I believe me, I know that better than
And the same case we have also in Texas against the bank that also was part of it.
Okay. All right. Right now, today, how are you guys feeling about where the company is positioned?
From my standpoint, I think the company's positioned very well. I think one of the things is we have to do is I think we have to get back to focusing on what we do, which is the main thing that we do is transaction and processing and, basically a transactional based business, electronic payments. We've been distracted by a lot of different things. That's not, I mean, it's the truth. And it is it's kept us from executing properly. So I think the thing is once we get back to executing what we can do, I think the company's positioned very well.
Right. Right. And I think you're getting to that point, right? I mean, things are starting to come together for you. You get
Yeah.
the S1 done, then you get the spin out done. That's off the table, right? And you can start focusing on really just the bodega and growing that business and the power situation out at DMint, right?
Yes.
Yes. So just to be clear on DMint, all the shareholders get 100% of the company. It's not like we're keeping anything into OLB or anyone else.
Okay, so that's important to know, right? So, I mean, in the beginning, it was like people started questioning whether or not this is even ever going to happen,
Right.
right? So now I think you can say you haven't been doing this for practice or fun, right? You are going through this process to get this thing done, to get this spin out done,
Yeah.
and you're close. So that
Yes.
you're really close, right? I mean, how long, Patrick, do you feel as though it's going to take to put the numbers in and get it filed?
I would like to say probably within, I mean, we're going to hopefully get it filed next week is what we're looking to do with the S1. And I would say hopefully we can hear something back within 30 days. But once again, to set expectations, I don't know. I mean, it's the SEC. It could be longer than that. But we would hope to hear something back within 30 days of the next filing, hopefully with no more questions, and then we can move forward.
So there was a delay with the the miners, right? Because of power. Is that all sorted out now?
Not completely. I mean, we still have to finish some of the power to the building. I mean, that's one of the things is, like I said, we have not, it's been distracted in other parts of the business. We have to finish out that building. And I know we keep saying we're going to finish it out. We are. We are going to execute and we're going to get that done.
Okay. Okay. And power's been an issue. I don't know if
Yeah.
anybody's paying attention, but power's kind of been an issue because of all the AI stuff and data centers and the whole deal, right? So power is hard to come by, right? But how big is the property that DeMint is sitting on?
The actual land portion is right at 5 acres. And we have a 15,000 square foot facility that we use right now. That facility is built out. Once we complete it, we'll have 20 megawatts of power at that facility now.
Okay, okay. So all in all, you guys are feeling pretty good about where you're at. You got is that your last deposition, Ronnie? You don't have to go back?
I'm sorry? No, for myself, I mean, I probably have to be on trial, but as far as the positions we've done with all the individuals of the company, it's really the expert on the damages on our side that have to be pretty much write the report, and then it's the summary judgment that have to be presented from both sides to the court.
Okay. All right. So Patrick, with all the divisions right now, all the entities, what do you think fair market value would be?
Of our company,
Huh?
of everything put together,
Yeah.
fair market.
I'll tell you, Rick, Tim, I'm sorry. What we've visioned is before the acquisition of what we purchased, the portfolio, we used to be around 24, $26 million market cap, at some point even higher, and that's pretty much establishing the start point for us because we wrote off all those assets, everything is being cleaned out, And, we anticipate, to regrow the business based on that. Additional to that, we invested over $22 million into the Bitcoin mining operation.
Okay. When you have the 20 megawatts of power, how many Bitcoin mining machines will be up and running?
We'll be able to run 5,000 at that time. We own 1,000 at this point, so we can actually flip those immediately on, but we'll have the ability to run 5,000 miners.
Okay. Okay. What am I missing, guys? Is there anything that you feel as though I'm not touching on that I should?
Well,
No,
I would say following the S1, once we announce that we are refiling, we're going to summarize pretty much the benefits to the shareholders on the record date
Mm-hmm.
and what they're really getting. So in a very simple way, you don't really have to read the entire S1. It's kind of would be very educational.
All right. So what you're saying in layman's terms is that when you file the S1, maybe next week or the week after,
Yes.
it would be beneficial for those that are curious about what the benefit to OLB shareholders would be. It will all be spelled out in the S1,
It
right?
is it's going to be spelled out in the S1, but we're going to recap it on the press release so they
Right.
can see it in a very high level.
Okay. All
And
right.
it's not too late to buy shares at OLB, even if you buy today the shares, you're still going to get those dividends.
Because it goes off of when it
Yeah, due to
reports.
the record date, correct.
Right. Okay. Patrick, anything you feel as though I've missed?
no, I think one of the things that an investor should understand about the company is in my opinion, right now, the company is two different companies. There's DMint, and then there's the other piece of the company. Both of those right now are rolled up into a market cap less than 4 million. You're asking about the value of the company, the what I would consider the fair market value. That would be an interesting one, but I think the market cap of the company, if you put both of them together right now, the payments piece of the business should be over 15 to 20 million just by itself. That doesn't even include DMint that we're spinning out that's on top of that. So I don't think people understand sometimes what exactly we are. And I think they get confused about what we're trying to do. We're separating the companies out. Both companies have value a lot higher by themselves than we are now. And I think people need to understand that.
Right. I think it's a good thing to try and hammer home, and that's why we're having this thing on a Sunday. You
So
guys came in on a Sunday, right, to do this. So I think that's pretty cool, right? I mean, it shows that you guys look, you're working your butts off, you're trying to get this stuff done, you're really close, and now all the people that have been saying all those negative, crappy things about you can take them all back because, yes, it took longer, but it wasn't by choice, right?
Right.
You're trying to do the right thing. You didn't have to spin off DeMint and give the shareholders anything if you didn't want to, right? I mean,
Correct.
you're doing this for the benefit of the shareholders. And if they don't see that, well, they should think about that for a minute before they go out and start blasting you guys, right?
I think the thing too, though, is you could almost put it that people have lost faith in us. We've never lost faith. We've actually had a lot more trouble to keep going the way we are, but we've never lost faith in what we're going to accomplish, and we will get it accomplished.
Right. That's a very good. The one thing I say about especially micro cap companies, it's hard to beat someone who doesn't stop fighting, right?
Right.
It's really tough to beat somebody that doesn't stop fighting. And that's I love that kind. I like that tenacity. That's one of the things I love. Right. That's a quality I want to see in the leadership of the company that you're invested in. Is you want to see that tenacity. They get it done. I mean, it may not happen within the time frame, and I see that all the time. Right. Because there are a whole bunch of things in the world that you just can't control. So you deal with it, and you get through the best you can. Right. But I think the stock has been unfairly punished. I think management has been unfairly judged, and that's about to all go away, right? So it's going to happen, And that should be a day of celebration, right? Everybody should feel good about that. So it's coming, and that's all you need to know. So I would take a very hard look at the company. You just had this amazing pop. It popped. I'm gonna show everybody the chart real quick, just so we can talk about that. But it it popped right up into a resistance area that you have at $2. Right. So if you look back here, actually, let me move this over here. All right. So if you look back here, right here, you had this right over my shoulder here. You had resistance at that $2 area, and then it came back. It pulled back, and where did you pop to over this 4-day run? Right into that $2 resistance, and it's acting as resistance. So, a couple of things could happen here. You have a little bit of a gap on the daily that could potentially fill. All gaps don't have to fill, but it could fill. And that's down to about the 142 area. And then you fill the gap. And then maybe the stock just consolidates and goes sideways because you're really close now to a potential catalyst with the S1, right? I mean, you don't know
Yes.
how fast the SEC will act on the S1, but at least it's filed. You don't have any more questions to answer, right? And hopefully, that is it. This is wood. I can knock on wood. Hopefully, there are no more questions that come,
Yes.
right? And then boom, it gets done, and that's a good thing all the way around. So, um, the stock has had a big pop. The volume blows my mind. I mean, that was some. How many shares outstanding, fully diluted?
Give or take 2.5 million.
How many?
2.5 million.
2.5 million.
Yes.
And it traded. Am I seeing that right? 34.52 million
Yes.
shares.
Yes.
And share price after market went up for another 3%.
34 million shares. So you spun the float how many times?
Oh gosh, a lot.
A lot. Something's going on here, guys. I'm telling you, there's something going on. It might pull back. You might see the volume, pull back, get a little consolidation, and it could line up perfectly with your news flow, right? Then the next pop on volume could be the one of the news releases. So I think it sets up beautifully, and it's been a long time coming, but you guys deserve a break, right?
We could
And then
use
you
it.
can start focusing on the bodega. Are you excited about the new product coming out?
Yes. And it took us a long time because we're also changing some of the vendors and suppliers that are bringing us to a much more profitable path, replacing all the mobile services with a different supplier.
Okay. And you've got some, if I'm not mistaken, you've got some additional features and stuff that are going to be available to the end user,
Yes.
right?
Yes. So pretty much we're putting the platform for the bodega owners on steroids that they'll be able to order, they'll be able to take payments, everything in one place.
So just to be clear, these bodegas are little small mom and pop shops in sometimes very rural neighborhoods, right? These are not high tech operations. Is that an accurate thing to
Yeah,
to
they're
say?
low tech
Yeah.
people also coming with cash, with the expectations, to pay their services, mobile services, utilities, and we pretty much taking the cash for them and converting it to a bill payment.
Right. You are taking a non-techie store and kind of helping them get techie.
Yes,
Would that be an
Correct.
accurate way
right.
to say it? Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. It's a good thing for that store, and it's a good thing for the community, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anything else, guys?
I think we're good. I mean, As we mentioned, we believe in the company. Patrick and myself didn't take salaries for the last year, and we're putting more money into the company.
Right. Right. You guys are good guys. You've had a rough go,
I
right?
appreciate that.
You've had a rough go, but things are turning. I can see it happening. So keep the faith, and we'll have you guys back. When should we have you back after you guys file the S1? Just for a quick one?
Yeah, I would say we can do that probably after we file the S1 in the first quarter. So
Okay. Okay.
that's coming pretty close for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's pretty close. So
Yeah. When do you report next? The 15th of May?
15th. We have to have it done by the 15th. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming in on
Yeah,
a
thank you, Tim.
weekend on a Sunday to give us an update. I appreciate that.
I appreciate your time, Tim. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, hold on, guys. I'm gonna turn this off. Thank you for tuning in to another CEO interview here at Alpha Wolf Capital. Today we had OLB Group, ticker symbol OLB. I hope you enjoyed today's interview, and if you did, do us a favor, give us a like. How about giving us a share? And while you're at it, make sure you smash that subscribe button, because all of those things are certainly very important to us here at Alpha Wolf Capital, and we appreciate you taking the time to do that. Until next time, stay safe. Alpha Wolf Capital wishes you the very best of success.